Hello, we're going to continue on studying our conic sections and we're going to talk about ellipses today. So our goal is to graph and write equations of ellipses. There are a lot of examples in here, so I'm going to try to cut them down in half to keep the video a little bit shorter. If you need me to go through more, let me know and I will do the others in a different video just so we can kind of condense the lesson a little bit. An ellipse is a set of all points x and y, where the sum is of the distances from the foci, the two focus, plural, is constant. So no matter what point I pick, if I add the distance from the point to one focus and the distance from the point to another focus, if I add those together, it's always going to be the same. A few things you need to know. The major axis is the line through the foci, which intersects the ellipse at 2 points on the ellipse. So that goes straight across the long direction of the ellipse. The minor axis is the one that goes through the shorter direction of the ellipse. Vertices are the endpoints of the major axis. The center is the midpoint of the major axis and the center of the ellipse. The minor axis is the chord perpendicular, and it's also has the same center as the major axis. Standard form of an ellipse with a center at 0, 0 will either be x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equals 1, or x squared over b squared plus y squared over a squared equals 1. The difference between these two is you're really looking for where the bigger number is. If the bigger number is below the x, then that means it's going to be long horizontally. If the bigger number is below the y, that means it's going to be a longer ellipse vertically. And then your vertices, your major axis length, minor axis endpoints, minor axis length, and then the foci on the major axis are c and negative c. We're going to go through this whole thing. You don't have to have a lot of these memorized. I'm going to try to show you some tricks to help you with them. The two things you really need to know is to find the foci, you're going to use the relationship c squared equals a squared minus b squared. So remember, a squared is that bigger number in the modular fraction, b squared is the smaller number. And then take the square root of those after you subtract to find your c. And that's going to help you find your foci. Your eccentricity kind of tells you if it's like a flat pancake of an ellipse or a very round ellipse closer to a circle. If it's closer to 0, it's more round. If it's closer to 1, it's more flat. So eccentricity, E, is C divided by A. The only thing that changes is very similar to what we did with parabolas. In circles, we have H and K here. So H and K are your your center here. And then you can find your vertices and technically your co-vertices from there. So let's go ahead and graph some of these. And I'm actually going to start with B. You'll notice B and A are very similar. And we're going to skip ahead to the next slide then as well. So like I said, I'm going to do about half. And then have you try half on your own. And I can definitely put the key up or put another video up if you'd like to see those. So one thing I notice here is there's nothing added or subtracted inside my parentheses or with my x's and y's. So that means my center is at 0, 0. So I'm going to go ahead and plot that right away. And then what I do to make this easier is I am going to, let's see what I have to do. Vertices, foci, eccentricity. So vertices, I'm going to find the bigger number. Okay, notice the bigger number is underneath my y. Take the square root of that. So square root of 16 is 4. And that's my y, so I'm going to make sure I put it as a y. My vertices are going to be positive and negative 4 in this case. Okay, and that's just because our center is at 0, 0. It'll change slightly when we have another center. But that's how you find your vertices. Okay, so I can go ahead and plot those. And I'm going to use a different color here. My pen. So my vertices are at 4, 0, 4, 2, 3, 4, and negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now notice under my x, this can help me find something called a covertice, my covertices. And then in my x direction, or my horizontal direction, the square root of 9 is 3. So that means I'm going to go over 3 to the right and over 3 to the left. And that's going to give me my other 2 points that will help me draw my graph in. Okay, there's a missing piece here. We are asked to find the focus. Well, to find the focus, we need to find C first. So I'm going to use C squared equals A squared, which is the bigger number, minus B squared, which is the smaller number. And that gives me 7. Okay, so that means C, I did that incorrectly. C, if I take the square root, is the square root of 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the square root of 7 to my center, and I'm going to subtract the square root of 7 from my center. So look at this here, okay? Actually, we're looking at this one. 0C and 0, negative C. Because my center is at 0, 0, my foci are at 0 and positive and negative square root of 7. Okay, go ahead and find the decimal for that because I don't expect you to know exactly how to graph it off the top of your head, but I do know it's somewhere between 2 and 3. So 1, 2, 3. So about there. 1, 2, about there. So those are my foci. And then my eccentricity is going to be that divided by A, which is the square root of 16, or 4. So I'm looking at the right one there, guys. Okay, and that's your graph. Hopefully it looks a little bit nicer than mine does. I kind of missed my points there when I was doing that. Okay, let's do the next problem. I'm going to go ahead and do D. And for D, notice that my center this time is at 2, negative 1. I'm going to go ahead and plot that, 2, negative 1 over 2, down 1. And the bigger number's underneath the x, so if I take the square root of this, which is 3, that means I'm going to go sideways because x is sideways, 3 each direction, and those are going to be my vertices. So my vertices, I'm going to add 3 to my x, which gives me 5, negative 1, and subtract 3 from my x, which gives me negative 1, negative 1. To find my co-vertices, take the square root of the smaller number, which is 4, and that's from my center. I'm going to go up 2, because square root of 4 is 2, and then down 2, and that actually is my ellipse there. We just have a couple more things we need to find. I need to find my C. So remember, C squared equals A squared, which is 9, minus B squared, which is 4. So that gives me 5. So C equals the square root of 5. And I'm going to go ahead, since I'm going sideways, I'm going to do, that's enough times C. My foci are at 2 plus and minus the square root of 5. Okay, so going from my center to the right and center to the left, still at negative 1. So when I plug that into my calculator and get a decimal there, 2 plus the square root of 5 gives me about 4.2. So 2, 3, 4, so right there. And 2 minus the square root of 5 gives me negative 0.2, so about right there. Okay, last thing is eccentricity. Just take your C, divide by A. So the square root of 5 divided by A, which is 3, square root of 9, and you're done there. Last one I'm going to get set up for you on this page is F. I know my center is at 1, negative 1. And I know that instead of multiplying by 4, I could change this to dividing by 1/4. Just flip my fraction over, and then that makes it a little bit easier to decide vertices, co-vertices, and all that good stuff. So my vertices, I'm going to go sideways, 3 each direction. So if I add 3, I get 4, negative 1. If I subtract 3, I get negative 2, negative 1. And then from there, you're going to go ahead and find your C, which is 9 minus 1/4. And then kind of go from there. Okay, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish that. We're gonna do one more graph here, and I'm actually gonna go to another video for grading. I'm going to focus on H. Notice this is in general form, and I cannot graph this until I change it to standard form. Makes it easier. So I'm going to go ahead and, before I do that, group this. I have x's here, and I have y's there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out a 4 because I cannot have a leading coefficient when I complete the square. And then for the second one, I'm going to take out a 9 because I cannot have a leading coefficient when I do that there. And I'm going to move my 16 over, so I have negative 16. The only catch is when I put my blanks in, I have to do 4 times that and 9 times that. Okay, so half of 4 is 2, 2 squared is 4. So I'll plug that in there and there. And then half of negative 4 is negative 2 squared is 4. So I'm going to put 4 there and there. So when I factor this, I get 4 times x plus 2 quantity squared plus 9 times y minus 2 quantity squared equals 36. Divide everything by 36 to get x plus 2 quantity squared divided by 9 plus y minus 2 quantity squared divided by 4 equals 1. And then you can go ahead and identify all your key features and plot them on the graph. So center is at negative 2, 2. Okay, bigger numbers under my x, so we're going to go sideways 3 from there. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to go up 2 and down 2. And there's our graph. So our vertices are at, we added 3. So 1, 2, and then subtract 3, negative 5, 2. We need to find our foci. Okay, so we're going to do negative 2 plus and minus the square root of 5, 2. And then your eccentricity is square root of 5 over 3. So we can go ahead and plot these 2 points there and there. They're off a little bit, but be careful with that. Okay, so that's all you're doing for graphing. Check out the next video for the last couple of examples. And again, if you need me to do more, let me know, because I definitely skipped several. So that leaves us options if we need to go through it together. Have a great day.